Hi, I'm Sandy Ingram, and welcome to the Education Matrix channel because education changes everything. In today's video, I'm going to tell you a story. This is not a scenario, and this is not fiction. For many, many decades, wealthy people in America began placing monies, income, their profits into offshore bank accounts. Now, I'm sure that the IRS had some knowledge or some inkling that this was going on, but there was really nothing they could do. The bank accounts were secret. They were all numbered accounts. But some things happened which were scandal. A scandal broke out just before 2009, and the IRS sent to Congress a Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act. And Congress, it bounced around Congress for a little while, but it found its home and it was passed. And this Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act said that foreign banks would be encouraged to hand over account information of U.S. taxpayers. Most foreign banks comply with the IRS, Department of Treasury. Why? Because the penalties that the IRS places onto the foreign banks is so great that they don't even think about not complying. Now, I'm a tax professional, and before I retired, I had tax clients who were Republicans, Democrats, and independents, and whatever else you could think of. And I just did not openly and do not openly discuss politics unless it directly relates to the tax code. And what I'm about to share with you now is exactly what happened. Politics relates to the tax code. During the Obama administration, I don't know how many of you realize this, but that administration had hundreds of thousands of U.S. offshore account holders on the path to prison. Yep, that's right. Of course, the IRS was working with the taxpayers to resolve the issues, but the bottom line is and was wealthy people had to disclose their wealth or go to prison. What do you think happens when the wealthy don't want to do something? You got it. Change happens. The tax reform which occurred in 2017, this is the single largest tax law changes in over 50 years. To be exact, look at the new tax laws as it relates to offshore bank accounts and offshore corporations. This is not a video or a class on politics. I share this information in order for you to understand that behind these silent financial wars is opportunity for you, the taxpayer, especially since you may have disposable income in excess of 6 figures anytime in the upcoming future. It's not against the law to have offshore account. It's not against the law to have an offshore foreign corporation. But it is against the law not to share that information with the IRS. The law says and reads something like this: income made in a foreign country which stays in that country is not taxed by the IRS. However, you must legally report the income to the IRS. Now, this is a little bit above my pay grade, but what I call myself doing is referring you up to an experienced international tax attorney who could and will create a legal foreign corporation for you, if you so desire. This type of corporation, what happens, let's give you an example. You buy a Kentucky Fried Chicken or McDonald's franchise in Mexico. Both of these franchises are are truly, truly popular. Usually on the weekends, the lines are outside the door. If you leave all of your profits in Mexico, the United States will not tax it. Now, you will have to pay taxes in Mexico, but not to the U.S. Now, let's take that one step further. For instance, like in the Bahamas doesn't have a personal income tax. Now, I don't know if they're going to let you have a McDonald's franchise, but whatever type of business that you might start there, whatever profits you earn, they are not taxable. They're not taxable by the Bahamas because they don't have a tax plan or program, and they're not taxable by the U.S. as long as you leave the profits in the Bahamas. And guess where you're going to retire? Do your research, people. Ring the bell. Subscribe. I will see you in an upcoming video.